By the wholesale sacrifice of both kith and kin, the dark powers have allowed me to bring you more, Chuunibyou. Or just, enough pestering on Discord. Same thing, really. It's been quite a while since I last watched Chuunibyou, so I thought, what better little Christmas present than to deliver this? At least to any of those willing to watch it. I hope you're happy. And I'm assuming I might be as well, because a movie format version of Chuunibyou with all the style and art direction that the series had would be quite good. Let's find out. Oh, it's her eye patch. For a minute there, I thought it was like a golf ball or something. I'm not quite sure what to expect though in this movie, what the plot could revolve around. Was that Kumin once again taking a well-earned rest? Don't hide behind her eccentricities and just answer the question, goddammit. Is it just the number 13 though, or is it most of mathematics that you struggle with? Yep, exactly. There's a barbarian summoning ritual of antiquity. How did you get a cat in here? Quite a well-behaved little kitten. That's something that he's going to be questioning quite often, isn't it? That's good, I guess. But barely scraping through high school. Ugh. If they were just more forceful in actually enforcing the rules, maybe that would help getting her out of this Chuunibyou mindset. Yeah, I feel the same, little cat. Like, Is this movie going to actually get into trying to break her out from Chuunibyouism? Because we kind of had that a little bit in season 1 when she was overcoming the death of her father and not being able to say goodbye. But now she doesn't have that hanging over her. Is it just because it's fun and a bit eccentric that she carries on with it? Well, that and the adoration that Dekamori gives her. That wasn't too bad there. For just an intro of basically just her running on the spot for a minute and a half. At this point, there's pretty much anything that can be put on screen involving Riku and we'd probably watch it. What has she achieved? Yeah. If only her previous attempt wasn't foiled. Don't speak too soon, you know what happens. Yes! Ah. So, kind of. She almost achieved presidential status. Does her position mean that if an accident was to happen to Dekamori, she'd assume the role, though? Actually using what seems to be an appropriate operating system for once. Just the erosion of her dignity. Considering that he was saying we definitely can't tell the teachers about bringing the cat in, he's not exactly hiding it. Murder mystery: who killed Kumin? She seems to be not too fussed about being stabbed. But Kumin was in the year above, so. Is there an upper limit? Wow, I'm dying here. Is there an upper limit to the number of members a club can have? And how she hasn't damaged her scalp by using her hair as weaponry. Appropriate ringtone, if I've ever heard one. Is it all from her? This is a cacophony of sound. Someone's got to answer. So are we having an abroad story? Did Rika fix her relationship with her mother and grandparents? We never actually saw too much of that after season 1. Yeah, we finally get some time alone. Need to spend it playing games. No, he's had enough by now. He's tired of it all. Nah. Oh, Christ. More than that. Do it again. Throw him off the bridge. Oh. So that's where the kitten came from. I hope that she didn't just paint the cats, though. She has an expectation. Great. Just another 5 years, and you might get, I don't know, eating lunch together. But, well, I don't think Rika is going to make it into further education. If I had a group of high school students staring at me while I'm trying to fish, I'd move as well. That's, having your belongings forcibly removed without any prior knowledge. So is this trip to Italy for a bit longer than before? Is this a permanent fixture? Fixture. It seems like a big thing to just spring on someone. Not that you should give a. I don't actually know how old they're meant to be at this point. The choice. But yeah, give them a bit more of a warning would be nice. Italy probably has some good colleges. Answer in some, actual words. Um. So you better have done well. Ah, shit. If only Rika could raise her intelligence stat. Unfortunately, she dumped some of it into charisma. There's quite a few issues with breaking into school to change your grades. He's taking this news rather well, considering the likelihood that she could just up and go to Italy. So the only way you're going to succeed here is cheat. Yeah. That's not sending a great message. Well, it's going to be difficult, but if she just dwells on the fact that it's not likely, she's not going to get it all to work out. To make things more unbearably awkward, that's why they're here. don't think that's a great idea. The romantic idea of eloping is fine in as long as it stays as an idea, but in practice it's a lot more difficult than when you're trying to do it, at least. Especially when they're still in school. They'd be tracked down almost instantly. They can't cut ties to everyone altogether. Yeah, I don't think that she'd have that kind of reaction, and Dekamori would be an instant cave-in if she was questioned as to where they went. And please don't leave these kind of big life decisions up to other people. Don't just force your way through the ticket barrier. Ah. So she didn't do quite a lot. I went on almost every school trip that was proposed. I think the only ones I didn't go on were when my family actually had holidays or not, but I don't think they ever planned anything that during school time, so. Actually winning against deities of old, I doubt Rika has the power for that. That guy seemed far too happy about, haha, look at this moron, I'll put that on YouTube, that'll get a few views. See, her expression wasn't quite what you expected. Yeah, of course. And where is... hopefully that Rika or Yuta actually wrote it, because it could be easily... She bugged the apartment. Keep trying to sleep, Kumin. Foiled already. I'm not sure I understand that idiom. Oh, she is... She is a walking disaster for these girls. I guess you're gonna have to move to a different town, aren't you? Oh, where did she get that picture? Does she just have people staking out her sister and her friends so she can blackmail them later? That wouldn't surprise me, actually. She's quite vindictive and getting what she wants. And she has a tracker, so why is she they're asking them, rather than to tell them that there's no point and get them to actually work with her. Don't destroy the mountain. I don't know why, but when I saw that, I immediately thought of Krillin from Dragon Ball, which I didn't know. Sorry to cut your eloping short, but run. Use a coded message. You could say ants, but human garbage works as well. Having two black sedans just roll up like that. You know, if I had done years of training and been hired as a bodyguard of sorts, and then I have to look after whatever the hell Dekamori is doing at the minute, like, what has my life become? You better stop that now, or I'm telling your father. $20 odd minutes in. I kind of expected it earlier than this, but a few nice particle effects here and there. Is it really a good idea to destroy the footing that they have, considering they're so high up? Is that the same guy recording in the background? And where's Yuta's just defeated facepalm in the background? Where's that? Wow, they've got foreshortening in here as well. And when victory doesn't seem assured, use some milk. Yeah. He was finishing the milk. You see, an easy way to defeat Nibatani here is just take a picture of her. Now move out the way, please. Ah, we see where this is going. It could have gone worse, as we've seen previously. I mean, wow, if they... I was about to say, if they didn't have anyone at the base of the tower waiting out, then they've really gone about it the wrong way. And maybe actually gathering some information and asking why they're doing it rather than just having a battle might help out. I wasn't expecting him to pull that face. Success. You can't talk. At least know the difference between a text and a phone call. Oh, that's going to be held against him for a while. Well, if she's so upset about it, why don't she change their contract? Otherwise, he might be looking out for more cartons to give to girls. For self-preservation, of course. You can't slip that easily. Or slip away that easily. She sounds like a mob boss. She's... But apparently, because nothing's happened in the past quite a while, she's not normal. How disappointing. Uh, is that the right order to have that in, though? The Sunday before the pancakes? Looks quite fluffy. I could do with some pancakes. Was kinda how they met and what they bonded over, but going forward in the future is going to be something that is going to need to be worked on, because you're not really gonna hopefully go through life believing all of this stuff. But if it's just a little like fear to pretend, then that's somewhat alright. Oh, hopefully that in the future, whenever she's stressed, she doesn't revert to Doch nicht, blah blah, etc. spells and whatnot. Where's this story going? It's quite rare that I actually find chrysalises. Meh, well, as good as a life as a butterfly has. They don't live that long. Even if she's slightly deformed. How did something come out of the machine looking like that? Oh no. She's brought her ladle. Yeah, and don't just pick up cutlery. Didn't even take a sip of that concoction. For the best. Partly because it's probably going to be quite disgusting, but also because restaurant machine sodas are just terrible. Maybe raising some flags there. Good ones, though, not like death flags. And with Toka saying that she's not thinking of anything, it's just playing around and playing games. Is Rika going to actually surprise us all and prove that's not the case? So you just kept walking and didn't think of the destination. Find somewhere to sleep, yes. I have some reservations. I don't think that's a normal like hotel. There was a couple of castles, actual castles, that were turned into accommodations and hotels and inns and, well, not inn, but... Some of the castles in like Wales and Scotland look pretty good. I've seen some like yeah. This is what got him fired up, was it? He aged prematurely by imagining these. I wasn't expecting like the Brazilian carnival costume. What's with the happy smiling belt? "22. I'll see you outside." Fucking idiot. It's for the best, though. Don't want to be seen here. I don't want to have those two pictured entering a place like this. But one of her many, many charms is probably going to be a tracker. Or that works, I guess. Well, it has been, what, like a day and a half? Yes, they are that stupid. I guess that's a consolation. Being cool is only marginally better than being called cute. But it's substantially better than being a deranged moron who spouts gibberish. Hopefully, a long haul bus would have a onboard toilet or something, so if she did have to expel her stomach. I used to suffer quite heavily with travel sickness. So that is a pain that I would rather not remember. Yes. Although unfair isn't the word I was going for. More like just. It could be leading down a very dark path. Bahamut? What name was that? Was that an animal or something? Oh, it's Bahamut. It kind of reminds me of the parents who named their child Dovahkiin. Slightly better. How many mythologies does she want to reach into to find inspiration, even if it is in his imagination? Also, having those kind of thoughts is a long way off, considering what you've held hands. Also, she's not going to get much studying done to get into college if they're constantly on the run. The longest bus journey I've been on was 24 hours? I can't remember if it was 24 or 48. It was some obnoxiously long time that had a load of stops in there. So it wasn't like it was driving for all that time. And why is it that whenever you see people walking down like a Japanese just shopping district, seeing all of the stores and whatnot, it looks so much better than if you were just walking down the street in Britain. What are the regulations on buying imitation weaponry? Kind of expensive. You can say no. Ah, crap. Out of all of them, that is probably the most Rika design. But it wasn't that nice. So he wants a physical representation of that experience. Can you stop buying bullshit? Um, sure. It was a bank job. That's how she got that money. Never underestimate the power of magic. One of the rare occurrences where she's talking about her mother. Text her and see if you want to go see her mother. Yeah. And it might be good to actually spend some time together and talk for a bit. Do you know her number? In that case, I see. I was thinking if you're going to an underground like car park, you're not going to be able to phone her, but that's fine then. Oh no! That little bleep. That's all it took. I do like the little RPG like map cutaway. It's good to see at least one of them having an appetite. And you can go wrong with steak, but for the most part, you can't go wrong with steak. Denied. It comes with a heavy price to pay, though. It's not worth it, even for good steak. Don't throw your food. Cheesesteak is fine. Parmesan steak? I I can imagine it. I'd prefer it without the cheese, though. Why do they need this kind of backstory? Right. I'm sure that whoever you're going to try and use this on are going to buy it. And no one in the history of ever has ever tried the we're brother and sister routine. She's getting too into this, isn't she? Why is the guy behind him wearing a trilby and a trench coat? I'm sure she's in customer service. She's seen worse. Ah, they've got to share a bed. These are the developments that we're waiting for, isn't it? It's better than the floor. I'm not sure it will reach across the room. It's quite funny how she can just immediately counter out anything Dekamori does with dairy. They have to share body heat to keep warm. They can fight it as much as they want. We can guess how it's going to turn out. That's who bought the snacks. I mean, it's just a decorative ring. For normal people, it's not that much of a thing, but that's for normal people. A little small. Yeah, you should have taken that advice and kept his distance. Only in certain circumstances. I don't know if him having that backstory and understanding that kind of lifestyle helps or hinders. I'm thinking it actually hinders because he's putting up with her. Does that say Depsy? Ah, the classic pretending to be a sleep routine. Why am I getting like a Monogatari vibe from this? He's not helping you this time. Run and hide, yes. A great response. His eye is going to be great for the next day or two. We are all questioning that. Do you want more than photos? Hmm. Who gave her a spare key? How long are they gonna pretend that they hate each other? I was about to say I haven't been on a plane for like 12 years, but actually that's not true. Well, the last one I went on was only about an hour in the sky, if that. If that. Why is she wearing a head torch? Does she imagine this search is going to take a while? Then change your outfit, wear normal clothes. Try not to stand out. Although telling them not to stand out is... Just ignore the intercom. Oh, did she get lost? Either that was a distraction that they put in place, or Dekamori got lost. Good sideburns. Empty your pockets. Oh, for Christ's sake. And this is where the security starts putting on the rubber gloves. It really? Is there really a one umbrella limit? Scandalous. Did she not hear the intercom as well then? Is there a localized Tannoy announcement? A polka dot plane. That brings back memories from like children's TV in the 2000s or 90s. Can't remember. You can't just board planes like that. Yeah, she would have good eyes to see that. Par saying there's a bomb on board, there's not really much you can do to stop the launch at this point. Oh no. If she can't handle buses, is she going to be on a plane? Did you think that... Actually, no, there probably are some people who believe that there are actual lines drawn across the globe separating the countries. Do you have any money? Despite all of his pontificating about not being a Chuuni, there are moments where he just accepts it. I'm guessing that was from the fence. The lines across the face. I don't know much about Hokkaido. Apart from it's known for a couple of products. I think whiskey is one of them. Yep. The same sense of direction as just letting a stick fall. You ask that now? There are some big conversations that you're gonna have to actually have, even if it is awkward or potentially painful. Not that future. I'm actually impressed with how she's able to come up with all of this on the spot. Just say it. Get her mind working. Quite a lot of empty space in there. I just noticed the 3D cars in the background now. That's all I can see. And at their low frame rate. The way he's putting this is so you don't have to hide behind all of this act. Actually, you can act normal with quotation marks. Okay. Is this too much for her to bear? Shiny. How did he get the exact ring size correct? For Christ's sake. Yeah, hope you didn't damage the ring. Her phone, on the other hand, beyond repair. And we're not worried about her face. Is it who can eat the most? That is a very dangerous game to play if loser has to pay for everything. It's also probably not a good game to play against me. Did you just eat? I bet you wish you had just left them behind at this point. They're not helping. They're just deepening their bonds. There's several times throughout this where the backgrounds that we're seeing could easily just be a photo with filters put over it. You mean she messages you, keeps you up to date with what's going on? You know what? The next text I send my mum, I'm going to put something stupid like that. Hide from the truth. It's not one of his powers. Careful on the snow. We've already had incidents with the sign. And don't run next to the road. That's dangerous as well. He came all of this way and didn't actually check if she was home. I'm actually shocked that they wrote down all of the address and the number after they realised they couldn't use her phone. A bit of forward thinking and planning. As to be expected on a weekday, but just find something to do for the next 6 hours until she's off work. Morning, okay. He's quite good at speaking, isn't he? I don't think I'd be able to have a conversation like that. No, it's our fault for coming without a prior arrangement. The amount of time she's looking at that ring, is she going to have more to talk to her mother about? Outfit change? How long before they get smacked by the ladle for only looking at places to eat? Who dares interrupt their date? Well, yeah, you've got a reason to get your asses moving. I'll be removing the mosaic. Oh no. But with the mosaic, who's gonna give a shit about a photo like that? And as far as I remember, I've only been on a train, well, twice, there and back. But out of all forms of travel, I think the train was the only one that I didn't have any reaction to, like, travel sickness wise. The problem with a ring like that, though, is that it would get caught on a lot of stuff because it is so pronounced and designed. Okay. Yeah, just put the sheet back. I forgot you existed. Why is he on the train? Just open the door and throw him out. Don't have to wait until the train stops moving. He wants to speak to his friend. Poor boy's lonely. And the repetitive clacking of the train is actually somewhat relaxing. Mm. Huh. Tell her that, yeah, your powers disappear if you make this, would actually force her to stop being Chuuni, I guess. But could definitely make things awkward. And I am happy that Sophia, was that her name? Is still trying to help them out despite having a history with Yuta. Unrequited as it was. Now that she knows that they're going to go see the mother, is she going to stop the chase temporarily? Is she now going to attack him in his sleep? The sudden jolt. Deserved. That's all he's there for, is to be abused and hit. Is that what his life has become? It's a mystery. Must have slept funny. And she left the... We reached the that moment. The moment where, what was it, end of Act 2 or something? I don't know, story structure. Wow. Referencing back to the chrysalis. It's a good thing that Yuta's friend is here to help console him if he didn't, run away. Diddly squat is, I wouldn't say modern language. Was... Why were they on that? Is any reason for them all to be joined up for the conclusion? So they have a big group photo at the end. But that is one thing about Rika, is that you have to force her to confront her emotions, otherwise she runs. Which is not a good character trait. There's also quite a few places in somewhere that you haven't been before where someone can hide out and where you won't find them. Quite good that I've never had to hunt like that. Is that her mother? Couldn't you have? This is where she goes, oh, it's fine. Yeah, why don't you just ask her in the first thing? Yeah, she could have left him a note or something. No idea what that could be. Were you not her age once? I can see her hesitation if she has got that much of a connection. It's like what she has with Yuta is because of her powers and whatnot. It's better than a parent that doesn't care. Hopefully, something cathartic and good comes out of that conversation with her mother. We haven't spent any time with the mother, but other than just not being there, she seemed quite understanding and nice. I was about to say, Kumin, help the situation. But this is something that she's going to have to decide on her own. Having that strong personality pushing her like this is exactly the kind of thing that is needed. That's another thing. She built herself around this. But a lot of people care too much about what they identify as. They build their identity around a singular thing, like her magic powers. There's more to people than just a singular aspect. Do you distrust him to that extent? It's good that they're at least facing the prospects. I half expected her just to fall asleep on that in that moment. Oh yeah, didn't she like pick up the mantle for a tiny bit? Have a conversation for once. What would have happened if Kumin had never joined the squad? And how did you know she was here? Huh? For them to actually prepare something that's at this state in the movie is going to be helpful, but any other time I'd question its efficiency. Don't run downstairs though. Even if that was just a gentle slope. Uh, while I didn't go into it hoping for that romantic growth, I'm not sad that it's happening. If you were really hoping for that, you would have stopped talking to them a long time ago and distanced as much as you could. The difference in how she usually acts to what was just now, that's what's the term? Is that gap moe? I don't know. Be careful. As much as she wants to see him right now, it won't be a good thing if she arrives injured. He has some endurance. It's not the first time we've seen him run for what seems long distance. As the suitcase rolls away. I I had a different thought run through my mind when he said that. If they needed any further confirmation of how they felt, I think that kind of cements it, really. And how many different modes of transport are they going to go on? Ah, okay. That's what the The thing they planned was. Talk-san. What was that? Oriwa? Would you still like me? That's the question you're asking herself, so. She doesn't have to give it up completely, just tone it down. Pick moments when to be the embodiment of the devil's eye, whatever it was. However, how he feels about her isn't going to change. So take the ring back. And this time, don't just leave it on a train. But yeah, when we get back, you're going to have to study, because otherwise you're not getting into college. See, this is both good and... he just went for it. Both good and slightly annoying, because there isn't the immediately apparent growth of trying to work about overcoming her Chuunibyou, but at least the foundations have been set. That's not actually the first time I've had that kind of explanation of lots of dopamine suddenly flooding my brain. Can't you just say you're happy? Yeah, he can't ask her to change if he's not going to do it himself, because that's what he reacts to when he's embarrassed. And did they manage to book out the entire liner, or is it just not showing us anyone else? Wow, that's a camera movement. My eyes. So what happened with the moving van that has all of her stuff? And the message. Even if. Well, you've gone this far. Yeah, sure, we kind of expected that. nicely dressed up. Mi scusi. Okay, they are. This is Italy. So none of them can be honest with themselves. You dick. He was always watching. He just, for this occasion, decided to not don his armour. I second that motion. There are various reactions to weddings whenever I've been. People crying, people getting to fights. Yeah, do your best. Can't remember your name. Huh? She is running for that bouquet at that's the pool. Why was the old man so anxious in the background there? She went for it. That dress is going to be soaked. Honestly, though, I've seen worse attempts at throwing a bouquet and much more hilarious outcomes. And as for the sitter taking job abroad and getting married and basically moving to a different country, I'm not sure if I have the caliber to do that. I don't even like going outside of my own city, so trying to set up life in a different country would be an experience. But like I said earlier, I I don't get to use that word a lot. I am ambivalent because I'm both quite happy with them coming to the understanding with each other and confirming their feelings and their willingness to spend their future together, but there wasn't any growth there. No development. It just went back to how it was. To the status quo. And also, we waited, what, 3 years and 2 seasons and a movie for, what, 3 kisses and a couple of hand holdings. Yuta doesn't work very fast, does he? And I'm not saying anything further than that, I'm just saying, platonic relationships usually have more. Did I say plutonic? Huh. Anyway, usually have more in 2.5 years. But her reluctance, well, and his, to actually talk about their feelings and what's going on in the future, it could be an issue in the future. And it was something that I suffered with as well, really badly. Talking about how I felt and what I was thinking was something that I basically never did, which did lead to situations which could have been avoided. Kind of why I'm rather insistent on people actually getting to the point now. But that is life. You learn from your mistakes. Well, you're meant to learn from your mistakes. Although I might have been too hasty, there was a character growth because Rika actually went to her mother to talk about things in the morning. So she does have that will to improve. And now that we've got Yuta, Rika, Nibatani, Dekamori, when's the ill-fated moment when the Kumin and the friend finally find some time to spend with each other? He doesn't deserve it. He's forever to be that comic relief character. I kind of also expected him to grow his hair out a bit longer than only that much. I did like how it showed past characters, even if it was for a second and a half, kind of showing them at the wedding reception there. Ah. I was like, hang on, what? Is there going to be someone else showing themselves to Sophia there? Full circle. Mega. Mute it. That was the immediate draw. However, there is a lot more to Rika than just the Chuunibyou, and so the fact that he kind of boiled it down to just that is slightly disheartening. But it would be tough to undo that now, because, you know, the show is called Chuunibyou. Love Chuunibyou and other delusions, so cutting out essentially half of the title would be... And I believe I said it in season 2, maybe season 1, I'm not sure. I don't really care. Anyway, you're allowed to act a bit flamboyant and eccentric and be Chuunibyou if you want, as long as you can determine acting and playing from reality. And it is that quite solid line down the middle of which way you go as to whether it's dangerous or not to mental state, to education and jobs, etc. And if I think back on my past, were there moments where I look back and go, wow, I was dumb? Yeah, of course there were. If anyone says that they don't have those kind of feelings about their past, you've met a liar. But one question that I actually don't want answered because I'll probably have a heart attack is how much money was spent through all of them travelling all that way across Japan, all the different experiences and places and restaurants and transportation that they used. Who cares? It was cute. It was fun. It was slightly heartwarming. And we got the confirmation of their love together that we all wanted. If you didn't, you probably wouldn't have watched the movie, so yeah. If you enjoyed all of that, then let me know by leaving a like on the video. Let me know your own thoughts down below, and when I'm uploading this, it's going to be a few days after Christmas, so I hope you enjoyed the festive period. Have fun out there. Talk to your friends and family. Actually talk if you're having any problems, or if you're not and you just want to talk bollocks. But get some rest. I think we all deserve it. See you in the next one. And even though the inexorable march of time brings an end to all things, there are those that fight against fate itself, and they are my knights. So I want to thank Sal, Raywin, Denim 1997, Shiwan, Stinsfire, Mecha, Jennifer Rojas, Big Boy, Dark Shadow, 7899, and everyone else, because they help keep the bottomless swamp of maturity at bay.